Good evening and welcome to the Catering Circle Restaurant Talent Show. My name is Tanya Rahman and I'll be your host for tonight's jam-packed episode. On tonight's subject, we're diving deep into a critical topic in the restaurant industry, and that's health and food safety. From the kitchen to the table, how do restaurants ensure that not only the dishes they serve are delicious, but also meet the food and health safety requirements? So we've brought together some of the top restaurateurs from up and down the countries to battle it out across 3 elimination rounds, with one winner to be crowned the Restaurant Star Show. Now, regular viewers of the show will know that our contestants will not have an easy ride. We do have a host of special and panel judges to grill them along the way. And without further ado, let's introduce our special panel judges tonight. So, starting off with a man that needs absolutely no introduction at all. Regular viewers at home will probably know his bio off by heart now, actually. We have MD Abdul Haq, the man behind the Catering Circle himself and founder of the Catering Circle and the man behind the platform. He's the vice chairman of Channel S Television and he's also MD of Purple Eye Technologies and Dinet. So welcome again to the show, Mr. Haq.
Thank you, Tanya.
Welcome.
Nice introduction.
Our second panel judge, we have Raza Mia. Now, Raza not only is a senior environmental health practitioner and he's received a prestigious national CIEH Environmental Health Award and is highly commended amongst his community as a hero. He's also a Master's in Occupational Health and received an NSc in Health and Safety. And I've got to say, Raza, you are missing your nephew's Mendy to be here tonight. That's how important this topic is for you, isn't it?
That's correct, yes.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And finally, but by no means least, we have Shahigir Bakht Farooq, who's the ex-president of BBCCI, the first Bangladeshi food safety and health trainer, an accredited trainer of the Chartered Institute of the Environmental Health and Royal Society of Public Health. And he's the author of the book called, aptly named, Food Hygiene. And I guess that's available in all good bookshops.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, brilliant. Fantastic. I expect a signed copy later.
Okay,
Brilliant. Well, lovely to meet you all. And those are our panel judges. Now, our panel judges will have 60% of the votes tonight. And those of you at home that know that our special judges have the remainder of the 40%. Now, before we do introduce our special judges, let's just do a quick introduction to tonight's topic.
Episode 5, Food Safety and Health Safety Issues. Ensuring compliance and prioritising customer well-being. Keeping your restaurant safe and clean is crucial for success. Let's look at some key practices to maintain top standards. Food safety practices. It's essential to manage food hazards. Follow HACCP rules, keep personal hygiene and food control temperatures. Remember the 4 Ps and 4 Cs. 4 Ps, people, premises, pests, pets. 4 Cs, cross-contamination, cleaning, chilling, cooking. Health safety measures. Focus on health and safety by ensuring fitness for work, assessing fire risks, providing good ventilation, preventing accidents, getting necessary permits and insurance. Training requirements. Training is vital. Make sure you and your staff complete required courses. Management training. Food safety, levels 2 and 3, health and safety, fire safety. Staff training. Food safety, level 2, health and safety, fire safety awareness, allergen training, customer service. Cost saving and revenue increase. Save money by keeping high safety standards. Complete the Safer Food Better Business SFBB folder. Show your achievements. Display awards, testimonials. Highlight a 5-star food hygiene rating. Provide allergen information. By following these steps, you ensure a safe dining experience, attract more customers, and boost your restaurant's reputation.
Well, there's lots of information there for our contestants to talk about in the upcoming rounds. Now, as I've introduced the panel judges already, we're left to introduce our special judges. So I'll kick off by introducing our first judge, Arlene Öfdemir, who's a prominent training consultant and an independent hospital and healthcare professional. Welcome to the show, Eileen. Brilliant. Our second special judge is Jan Knights. Now, Jan is an insurance expert and the MD of Square Mile Insurance Services. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Done your bed.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, that's great. I love that, you know. And finally, penultimately, we have Abdul Haq Chowdhury, who's a health and safety trainer and a principal trainer at Eastern Training.
Thank you.
Welcome. And finally, to wrap up our special judge, we have Wasim Shervani, who's a Director of Training at Welcome Skills, and he's won the National Katie Award for Education and Training in 2017. Congratulations, brilliant. I know it's 2017, but still, congrats. And right, so we've introduced all of our judges today. So as I mentioned, panel judges, 60% of the votes, and our special judges have 40. But our contestants wouldn't be here today without the help of their two mentors. So let's go and introduce our mentors. Our first mentor is Ash Mia. Now, Ash, you were the winner of the Catering Circle talent show back in 2017, we want to say, but we've kind of forgotten what year it was. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. And you're owner of the Cinnamon Spice in Kent. Brilliant. And secondly, we have Atiq Rahman. Atiq Rahman is a chef consultant. He's a multi-award winning kitchen dynamo. He's been the Chef of the Year for 3 years between 2007 and 2009. And you know, those at home actually know who you are because you are a TV personality. You used to have your own cooking show on NTV. Amazing. Brilliant. What was your famous dish? If you use your mic, guys, so viewers can hear you at home. Sorry. Yeah, we've had brilliant. If those that didn't hear at home, that was chicken tikka masala, was Atiq Rahman's most popular dish. Brilliant. So fine. So that is all of our judges and mentors. Now let's do a quick introduction to our contestants. Brilliant. Well, I'm particularly excited about tonight's show because we have a whole host of contestants tonight. So it's going to be a really interesting show. Each contestant is from a restaurant with completely different cuisine. So in no particular order, I will call up my first contestant to the stage. Just a reminder to those at home, contestants have 2 minutes to talk about the subject of choice. The bell will go off at the 2-minute mark. So if you are in the mid-sentence, you're able to finish your sentence, but please don't go over. So our first contestant to bring up to the stage is the Wild Time Azad Chowdhury. Hello, welcome Azad. Brilliant.
Welcome.
Before you kick off, just a quick recap on the topic of this round. It's all about food and health safety. So we want you, or what judges are looking for, is for you to discuss experiences and measures in ensuring food and health safety, and maybe including specific issues or solutions that you've done in your restaurant. So you've got 2 minutes. I'll ring the buzzer. Off you go.
Good evening, judges. It's nice to see you all. How do we run our amazing 5-star operations? That's what I want to start with. We simplify everything, pretty honest. We start with basic. We train our staff. It is so important that everyone is fully trained, knowledgeable, in order to execute anything properly and thoroughly. Without training, I don't think they'll be able to do that. So confidence and build that, that's what we do. Then every operation is different. Based on HACCP, which is Hazard Analysis of Critical Control Point, we create a SOP, Standard Operation Procedure, which is absolutely vital. You've got to see those things in order to eradicate any potential complications. So that get followed through daily basis with my staff. Once they've been trained, they would follow our SOPs to guide them through daily basis. That incorporate opening procedures, closing procedures during the operations. And those guys are fully trained in order to tackle comfortably from day one. Nobody in our operation start without training. So from day one, it'll be fully trained implement those things, understand those things, and we do actually do a spot check to make sure they're fully through. So this is how we run our amazing operations. I mean, as I said, based on the principle of the HACCP, we create the SOP, we implement things, and we review. All these get daily basis recommended in order to safeguard themselves, which is our team, and of course our amazing public, who actually put their health in our hand in order to protect them. So, it's so vital that we fulfill those obligations to the full extent. So training, SOPs, implemented, followed through on a daily basis, spot check done by the management, and those are the things I think we do and ensure our client that we are five-star operation daily basis, not just once, daily basis. In terms of implementation, record are so vital to this business. In order to protect yourself. Sorry, thank you.
Brilliant, that's great. I mean, you could finish your sentence there if you like, but...
Yeah, basically, in order to protect everyone in operational ways, it is so vital that we have those documentation in place so we can go back to it when we need it.
Okay, fine.
Thank you so much for
Brilliant.
your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Azad. Thank you. Brilliant. Thank you. And then we're going to bring up our next contestant to the stage, Bombay Kitchen's Jabir Ahmed.
Assalamu alaikum, and thank you very much for inviting me here to speak about the most important thing in our industry is health and safety. So which is, we need to focus on this when we're running a business. So especially, so I don't want to waste time. I want to start from the beginning. So when we start preparing or cooking our food, we do the personal hygiene first. So we start with washing our hand and wearing our, uniform. And also the second thing, we just straight away check our fridge temperature and all the food is still safe because we've been left over last night, so it still is there on the good temperature. We keep checking all the fridges on the beginning. So if anything wrong, so we need to just make sure before we start serving is on the right temperature and this thing. And also we defrosting because we use lots of frozen food because of some of the seafood is quite expensive and they're not available. So that's why we use frozen food. So we just focus on using the right temperature, right process to defrost our food, to keep the quality and also save the waste. Because if you don't defrost this proper way, so we can can be the quality of the food is waste. So and also cross contamination. So this is the very important cross contamination. So nowadays it's quite easy to do it because people are doing. Using different chopping board and different ways. So I invent using different kind of dishes. So like all for the salads and ready to eat food in green container, we put them separate. And also raw food we keep in red container. So they are very cheap to get anywhere. And also we have pest control to keep our food and our place safe.
You can finish your sentence.
Yeah.
Pest control.
And also we do have liability insurance to keep our staff and.
Brilliant. We all need pest control in our lives. Okay, fantastic. Thanks, Jabber. Thank you very much. Okay, third contestant we have Moonlight Tandoori, Nadeem Ahmed. Welcome to the stage. Oh, there's two of you.
Yes.
Wow. Which one's Nadeem?
This is my son.
You're Nadeem, fab. And?
My name is Abu.
Oh, fab.
So we
Well,
both run the
father and
restaurant.
son
Obviously, I'm
duo. Wow, fantastic. I think that's the first time we've had a father and son duo. Okay, brilliant. Well, no pressure. You don't get 4 minutes. You still have 2, unfortunately. Okay. Right, off you go.
Hi, thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, to run my restaurant, obviously very important is staff training. So we have a staff training and obviously we've got system in place, better, safer food, better business. And obviously we have trained the staff properly and we have enough sanitizer. We have different place for raw food and like cook food, and obviously we have a system in place about training as well. And every week I sit down with my staff and tell them what to do and everything. And we do food allergy is very important because so many people is, if they have any allergy food, they will be get illness. So make sure we write it down. We have system in place, like which item got food. And another thing, I stop totally. I take the nuts on my restaurant, no nuts at all, and some other stuff, no mustard, all this stuff, which is very important. And obviously, enough. We do sanitizer every week, like every day, as we go along. And
so as my dad mentioned, with our training, we train them with the 4 C's. So obviously, you've got the cross-contamination, you've got the chilling, you've got cooking, and you've got the cleaning. Now, obviously, the cross-contamination, segregate the raw food from the cooked food, and cleaning, regularly sanitizing our surfaces, making sure all the bacteria is wiped away. Obviously, the cooking, making sure the right temperature. You can't serve raw food, So, and as I was saying to my father earlier, the main thing is customer satisfaction. Making sure our health and food safety is top notch, so our customers are satisfied and our customer retention is top.
Perfect.
Thank you.
There you go, on the buzzer.
I wasn't ready,
Extra
obviously.
point for
Yeah,
that.
I tried to help you.
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. And I've got to say, guys, if you don't win the show tonight, you will win best dressed. I think you're most sharpest dressed guests we've had. Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, that's a hard one to beat, but I'm sure we can. With Blue Monsoon, Moazim Hussain, welcome to the stage.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. Today, we are talking about this segment, food safety and health safety issues. So I will talk that in separately. First, food safety. So what is food safety? In one sentence, if we say the food we eat is safe for us and safe for others, that's the food safety. And we can divide that food safety in few segments. Say like food hazard, personal hygiene, food temperature, and defrosting. So hazard, when we cook or prepare food, it can be many things with the food. Say like, for example, we use knife. It's a piece of knife or hair. If it's in the food, which is we are preparing, that's a food hazard. And personal hygiene is very important in food industry. So when you go in the kitchen, we need to be prepare ourselves as a full hygienic. So wearing right coat, clean, wearing hats, and when we do something like preparing raw meat and the cooking stuff, cooked meat. So we have to wash our hand properly, so before we touch anything else. So that's a very, very important. And food temperature, when we keep the food in inside the freeze or outside the freeze or in the wherever, we need to keep an eye. Is this the right temperature? Is it the right temperature we're keeping the food for? The eating wise, it will be healthy or it will be safe. So food temperature, if we normal cooked food, if we keep in a freeze up to 8 centigrade, that should be fine. And if it's in a deep freeze, it needs to be have to be below -8. So that temperature, and when we cook, we have to be keep an eye. The food is boiled properly, not and cooked 100%.
Brilliant. That's 100% and your last word. Okay, well, thank you so much. That's excellent. Thank you so much for your time, Moazim Hussain. So you can now sit back down.
Thank you.
and
Thank you very
relax.
much for having me.
Thank you. Brilliant. Right, before I call up to my next contestants, a reminder when you are pitching up here to focus specifically on the topic at hand, which is success stories in health and safety that you've implemented in your restaurants. So any specific examples that you can tell the judges would give you extra points, really. So we'll bring up our next contestant, which is Jahed, Fine Indian Dining, Abdul Saeed. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you very much for having me. For the last 25 years, people really didn't know about five-star rating. Over the years, it got very competitive, but during the years, we had to move on with the time. Internet brings score to the door, hence the 5-star rating. We always maintain high food standard. To improve the business, we changed the management system to the point where food safety was further improved. We maintain a safe and hygienic food storage so contamination does not occur, making sure raw food and food that's already cooked are stored separately so it does not get no bacteria. Ensuring hygienic food preparation is key. Staff are required to maintain the correct dress code and use different equipment for raw and ready cooked food. We always emphasize on cleanliness. We do our best to keep our clean and tidy environment, maintaining the cleanliness of our kitchen and dining, keeping our premises from dirt-free and maintaining a proper waste management system. Following the guidelines of the SFBB book, which is very helpful and key part of the business, helps you to maintain the daily checks, temperature checks, weekly checks, and monthly checks. Keeping on top of the paperwork helps to improve your rating for the business. Also, having a regular pest control checks and paperwork helps your business stay pest control free. Also, the SFBB book gives you the information on how to stay on top of your allergens, which is extremely important. Alhamdulillah, we have a 5-star rating. We liaison with Birmingham City Council and the internet for any advice to help improve the business. Recent inspection undertaken by Raza Mia has given a 5-star rating. Also, I just want to thank Raza Mia for all the advice and help he has given us. Thank you very much.
Amazing, and on time. I was going to say, I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Pay him afterwards. But brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
That's
much.
great.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Right. Penultimate contestant to the stage, we have Ponchakana's Mukadem Ahmed Chowdhury.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
Good evening,
salam.
everyone. Thank you much to giving me a chance to come here. I'm talking about my restaurant. So just what I do. Firstly, the management have to be know the all safety rules, all health and hygiene. So which is I have. And firstly, I choose a good, knowledgeable chef, educated chef in my kitchen, and a good staff who are fully trained. They can follow everything, and chef can handle the kitchen stuff and monitor every corner in the kitchen. Personally, I monitor every day in the morning to close in the time. I have to be checked, and I will check. I checked every day about the closing time, opening time, the cooling food, the cooking food, the raw food, the everything. So I have to be checked. If I continuously to keep my 5 rating, I have to be do these things. So health is first. So I concentrate firstly to my staff who are good and who are clean, who are nice, and secondly, the safety about how they are cooking, how they are chilling the food, everything. So this is the one thing, and the second thing is, third thing is clean. Likely the customer. I am very strict about the monitoring food, and when they cook go to the table, I always follow these things: how temperature is going, how do the waiter serving, and how after the cleaning the table and the food, everything. So it is very important for me to keep my 5 rating, to follow the all rules, and especially the cloths, clean cloths, gloves, hats, chopping boards, knives, which is in my shop, in my restaurant, is really, really clean. If anyone go, you can see. And I am continuously doing this from last few years. And especially the one of my, now this year, the Razabai is in our zone, and he's helping our staff because he can speak Bengali, right. And our people are, most of the kitchen staff, they are good in Bangla, so he's helping them very well.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Raza, are you planting these contestants? I think you are, aren't you? Yeah. Right, thank you very much, Mr. Chowdhury. Okay, our final contestant for round 1 is Black Restaurant Mohammed Shuaib. So, Mohammed, welcome to the stage.
Hi guys, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to be here. I'm here representing Black Restaurant from Stratford Road in Birmingham. I just want to talk about a personal success story of my own. I'm 31. When I was 24 years old, I purchased my first Indian restaurant. Previously, you know, through uncles, my dad, he was a chef. I've worked in Indian restaurant. Health and safety, it's a big thing. Before Indian restaurants, I'm a carpenter by trade. So I've worked in the construction industry. I know how important health and safety is, not just food safety alone. The restaurant I purchased, I didn't know, it was after purchasing it. It was a 1-star food hygiene rating. I actually seen it as I was scrolling through Facebook. So I contacted the previous person and he said, look, you know, you're a new restaurant, blah, 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 whatever. I was kind of worried. I was really stressed out. I thought the only way I can change this is by educating myself. So I contacted the local authorities and asked what it is that I need to do, the criteria that I need to meet. I also contacted a third-party company, Catering. God bless him, he's passed away. He was a really good guy. He was somebody, he'd come in, he was an ex-EHO, and he'd do audits, you know, exactly the same way the council was. He previously worked for them and stuff. And liaising with him, late nights, emails, WhatsApp messages. Allergens was a huge thing. You know, it was the basic one, gluten-free and stuff like that we knew about, but there was a lot of new ones. Food industry is always changing. I'm not just an Indian restaurant. We're more like modern. We do steaks, gourmet burgers, pastas, things like that. So I managed to turn it around. The EHO officer at the time, who gave the 1, obviously come back from me and gave me a 5. So just want to round it off by saying I've worked alongside this young man in Birmingham now. I've never met him previously, so it's not like, you know, I know him or anything like that. But he's done a lot for us in terms of emailing and messaging and things wherever we needed help. And achieving a 5, we're very grateful. And I just want to round off by saying it's not about achieving the 5. It's about what you do to maintain in order to continue.
Thank you so much, Mohammed Shuaib. Thank you very much. I think we should call this the Raza Mia show, shouldn't we? Yeah, at this rate. Is there any more? Any more? No, we're done. We're done now. I think we've had the whole of Birmingham come up, so excellent. All right, great. Well, that was round 1 of what I'm sure you can appreciate at home. Some really concise and really strong statements from all 7 of our contestants. We have now going to discuss with the judges what they think of those 7 contestants that have just performed. So I'll start with the man of the hour himself, Raza Mia. We've got, I think I've just counted, about 3 of the contestants are probably ones that you know because they're from Birmingham. We've got Jahed Fine Dining, Poncha Khan and Black Restaurant, all based in Birmingham that you've worked with previously. What did you think of all the contestants?
Well, I think overall they were absolutely fantastic. Every single person that, you know, made the effort to come and participate. I mean, I started roughly about 26 years ago, and it was totally a different kind of food safety, health and safety in them days. As you can appreciate, we'd never had internet or schools under doors.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people have diversed from not just being an Indian restaurant. And, you know, like some of the colleagues, or if I could say, that have presented, they've changed it around. It's not the old-fashioned, you know, you used to get the flake papers on the walls. It's a different concept now, and it's not only just Indian, it's just diverse in various areas, like one of the participants have said. It's not only curries, it's steak, it's all the healthier options. Well, it's absolutely fantastic. And there's another very good point that was made. Allergens in them days, we only had about a couple. The peanuts still remained, but now we've got 14. And, you know, it's a constant battle for the Indian restaurants and any other small businesses to be successful in this very competitive market. And you have to diverse, you have to follow the modern ways to improve. And I commend every one of those people that made their success stories to where they are now. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Raza. That's great. And how about you, Mr. Huck? Who stood out for you?
quite a few peoples. You'll see from the marking anyway. It's a big subject. I mean, we know we're going to only cover the fraction of it. The gist of it is, getting the health and safety right, making sure they got the insurance, they got the training right, that kind of stuff. And I'll be honest with you, from the performance, I'm looking at Birmingham doing very well. Thank you, Rajabhai. Don't know what training you've done, but, it's good there. I would say, let's see how they do on the next round, and we can catch up with that.
Yeah. And what are you looking for in the next round?
I know the next subject is training. I know the training is a small investment, and I know all the Bangladeshi restaurants, they think all like a Bollywood hero. Yeah. They want to do everything. They don't want to invest on professional like training, whether it's IT, all that. But they're changing slowly in different routes. I want to see if they're really investing on training on their employees. And with that, there will be a lot of ROI, return on investment, a lot of benefits, a lot of cost saving. So I want to hear most of that on the next episode, really.
Excellent.
Next, segment.
Brilliant. And finally, Mr. Farouk, who stood out for you, and which of the 7 contestants, or is it too hard to choose from?
Out of 7, all I found that all of them are full of knowledge, and they are very dedicated, and they want to improve their business as well. And they all mentioned about food safety. All of them, from cleaning, cross-contamination, personal hygiene, everybody mentioned about it. But I wonder, why did you not mention about health and hygiene? I mean the health safety. That means if you have level 2 certificate on food safety, you should have level 2 certificate on health and safety as well. But most of the participants, I have noticed that you do not emphasize on health and safety at work, but you give more, more emphasis on food safety. But that is also area you have to look at. But we look forward to hearing from you on your other 2 rounds. Thank you.
Right, okay, that's a really good point actually, so for contestants for the next round to maybe mention that. Right, so we'll go over to the special judges now. So the special judges, Arlene, what did you think of our 7 contestants?
They're all very good, and they all mentioned about food safety and what they do to ensure that food is safe. Food is safe to eat. But as my colleague said, not many actually mention health and safety, which is so important, because in kitchens that get slippery because of grease on the floor, water on the floor, there are a lot of tripping hazards, slip hazards. Incorrect containers that are used can cause health and safety issues. Handling knives incorrectly can cause health and safety issues. Storage of these things can be health and safety issues. And carrying heavy things like those drums of oil are very heavy, and that is a health and safety issue. So there needs to be strategies in place in order to correct these issues and to ensure that health and safety is also prioritized in the kitchen, not just food safety, sorry.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, that's a really good point, Eileen, just like following on from what Mr. Farouk said. Yeah, excellent. Okay, Jan, I'm going to go over to you now. So you've got years of experience working with the Asia and catering industry.
I'm not that old, you know.
Yeah, of course not. I never said though. Obviously, some of the restaurants aren't just typical, like Indian restaurants. You've got an array of cuisines. But was there any standouts from you over this round?
Yes, there was actually.
Yeah.
Number 7. You were the only person to mention health and safety and health and hygiene. And I just want to point out from an insurance point of view, if you haven't got a health and safety statement, you can get a 10 grand fine. And if you haven't got a good hygiene rating, if you've got less than a 3, you can't get insurance.
Right.
So it's not just, you probably don't know that.
I did not know
that.
But
insurance, we check the health and hygiene rating of every restaurant before we take them on.
Has that always been the case, less than the 3?
It's in the last couple of years, but
right.
people.
So I was going to say, I know a few restaurants that
So
are
do
on
I.
the one, so
So do
I've been
I.
eating from them.
Yeah,
So.
and this is why it's so important for record.
Right.
It's keeping records.
Okay.
Yeah, and writing everything down. But yeah, you've done very well. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jan. That's some great advice as well there. Mr. Chowdhury, as being a principal trainer, what did you think of the 7
I think all of them did very well. One of them, I think, Black Restaurant, he was talking about health and safety, but none of them mentioned anything. They should talk about fitness to work, like if they have food poisoning, they should come to work, or how long they should stay at home when they have symptom-free period. And they should talk about fire risk assessment as well. They're working in the kitchen. There are lots of things around, and they should have proper instructions. Sorry, what do you call it? Extraction.
Yeah.
They didn't talk about it. Also, they didn't talk about ventilation. And one of them is liability insurance. My co-worker saying earlier, it's like poor credit history. If you have poor credit history, you pay more interest. If you compromise with food safety, then you get less rating, 2 or 3, and therefore do not get any insurance. So Health and Safety Act 1974 saying, as an employer, you have to take all the reasonable steps to protect everyone and anyone in your premises. So food business, if you have more than 4 workers working for you, you need to make sure you not only comply with the food safety legislation, which is Section 8 of 204 Food Safety Act, but at the same time, you need to make sure your employees are safe. You should have proper extraction in place. At the same time, look at the spoilage, if you have anything. I'll pass it to my colleague.
That's excellent. Well, actually, we're going to hear from Wasim and the mentors after the break, so we're conscious that it is Maghrib time now. But don't go anywhere. Do join us after the break, where we'll hear who's made it through to the next round, because the 2 of our contestants will be eliminated. So see you shortly. Good evening and welcome back to the Catering Circle Restaurant Talent Show. If you just joined us, where have you been? You've missed a really punty first half of the show. We've had 7 contestants already battle it out to be crowned the Restaurant Talent Show winner. Right, so before you left us, the first round, we were hearing from our judges to see who their favourites were of the 7 contestants. 2 of our contestants will sadly be leaving us for the next round. But before we announce the results, let's go over to our special judge, Wasim Shervani. We'll pick up where we left off, Mr. Shervani. What did you think of our last round of contestants? Was there any ones that shone for you?
Well, they all made a good effort. They spoke with a lot of passion and conviction, which was good to see, because we need passion in the industry in these very tough times. But unfortunately, many of them did not speak about health, safety, or insurance, or risk assessments. So those are the things that we were looking for on part 2 of the actual task.
Yes, that's a very good point. I think that's something that's been echoed through most of the judges tonight, is that the contestants didn't actually stick to the topic and the brief. So more of that for the next round contestants as a heads up. Right, before we announce the results, I'd like to hear from the mentors. So we've got Ash and Atik. I'll start with Ash first. Ash, you mentored Wild Time, Azad Chowdhury, Moonlight Tandoori, Nadeem Ahmed, Jahed Fine Indian Dining, Abdul Saeed, and Black Restaurant, Mohammed Shuaib. So you had quite a lot to deal with.
Yeah, I had quite a lot to deal with. I think they done quite well, but one of the most important things that they got carried away was health and safety.
Yeah.
Insurance is very important, and fire risk assessment. You have to mention that you do maintain the canopy extraction system. You clean it. You got to have a certificate. And as that, otherwise your insurance will be void. So it's very important to mention that. But once again, I believe they got carried away.
Yeah, you're right. No one actually mentioned fire safety. I don't think I heard those words once.
It's very important. Otherwise, if you don't have fire risk assessment in place, how will your insurance be valid?
Yeah, sure. And because this is a subject that you won when you were on the show last time, wasn't it? So I can see why you're quite passionate about it.
My memory, I got a fishy memory. I have to record things. So
Okay,
But I think they surely now I'm confident they're going to cover that in the next round.
I think so, definitely. I think this was just a warm-up round for the contestants, and now we really get into it now. Okay, and finally, Atiq Rahman, so you had your mentees were Bombay Kitchen, Jabir Ahmed, Blue Monsoon, Mozam Hussain, and Ponchakana Mukaddim Chowdhury. So how did you think they did?
So far, be honest with you, they do a wonderful job. Thank you, everyone. One thing nowadays you can see in a restaurant, we got so nice restaurant, nice manager, dishing manager and everything, but chef is good as well, but food is good, but sometimes the hygiene level is very poor.
Yeah.
I think if you are a good chef, good manager, good decoration and everything, but you didn't follow your food hygiene and everything, you're gonna be close your restaurant.
Yeah, absolutely.
And plus Ash said we need to fire health safety and fire and everything. You have to follow your rule and regulation, otherwise your insurance is going to be too high. And every 6 months, Ash said, this canopy system is very important nowadays. You have to clean it every 6 months and get your certificate, otherwise you're going to lose your insurance as well. Guys, you need to follow the rule and safety, and good luck.
Oh yeah, that's good advice. Jan, is that right? You've got to clean your canopy every 6 months?
I did have one person that said, Jan, I've gone out and bought Pledge in a duster. He thought that was cleaning the canopy.
Okay.
Okay, but you must have them cleaned professionally. You must have a certificate. It's not every 6 months with every insurer. It depends how much deep fat frying you're doing. But it's important to keep those records. If you're insured with me, you can email me them, because if you have a fire and you haven't got them.
Right, yeah, it's really great
so
advice.
or keep them off site.
Yeah.
But yeah, fire risk assessment, health and safety, without any of that in place, you might as well just shut up shop today.
Got you. So if you're moderate frying, would you say once a year?
Once a year, but depends on the insurance company.
Fine, okay.
Some of them insist twice a year, the majority once a year.
Right, what great pearls of wisdom. Wow, okay, fabulous. Right, so we've heard from all of our judges. All of the judges have voted. So now we don't have a drum roll, but let's have a visual drum roll. We'd maybe have a bell to announce the winners. So, right, well, I can see the results and it's nail-biting. So, there we have it. We have Black Restaurant and Giant Fine Dining tied with 86 points each. Sadly, we have to say goodbye to Bombay Kitchen and Blue Monsoon, who are the bottom two at 68 and 64 points today. So sorry, Bombay Kitchen and Blue Monsoon. You both did exceptionally well, but sadly, it is a competition and you have been eliminated. So, thank you. Right, so now we're going to kick off with our next segment, which is round two. Right, so round two is all about training. Now, this time, we've eliminated 2 of the 7 contestants, so we'll have 5 contestants left. Each will have 2 minutes to come to the podium and talk about all things training. Now, specifically, contestants, I would like you to outline management and staff training in food safety, health safety, fire safety, allergen awareness and customer service. So if you can give examples of all of these areas, those will get you the real brownie points. So in no particular order, I'm going to bring up to the stage. In fact, I'll bring up Black Restaurant, Mohadim Shuaib. So up to the stage, please. Welcome back. Right, you've basically tied it and won the previous round. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm glad. I thought some of the other guys done really well as well. So we're here to win. I didn't drive all the way from Birmingham.
Exactly. Love it.
3.5 hours nearly in that traffic to lose. But it's good. You can learn from everybody and, educate yourselves, and seeking knowledge never stops.
Definitely. And with that winner's mentality, you've got 2 minutes. Kick off with all things training.
So, in regards to training, again, I mentioned before, being in the construction industry helped a lot, being in the restaurant trade. It was called Toolbox Talks. It was, on a weekly, even daily basis, before you start your shifts. For example, your Friday, Saturday, weekends where you're busy. If yesterday I had a new chef come implement some Italian food. He was working with some prawn dishes, and obviously being a shellfish allergen and things like that. So just taking that time out when you're updating things, not only just reading from the Safer Food, Better Business, because that's textbook. It's actually about implementing it and make sure, they know what it is that they're working with and using it the right way for the end consumer to not end up with food poisoning. You've got the legal side. You can get, arrested, or if you're not following the law, bottom line, when it comes to food, you can get prosecuted. So there's that side of things. The health and safety side to it, you've got, when you get large deliveries, for example, I've got stairs in my restaurant. So manual handling, for example, it was on construction sites, we dealt with a lot of that. So just making sure they're not injuring themselves or the public, trip hazards, all sorts of things.
Yeah,
like
brilliant.
that.
Thanks, Shuaib. Sorry, it was shorter than 2 minutes because actually you have one, so that's my
I do
bad.
apologise.
But you did excellent. Thank you for covering all those points. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you. Go sit back down now. Right, the next contestant I'd like to bring up, Jahed Fine Indian Tining Abdul Saeed. So you have 1 minute to talk about all things training. So, when you're ready.
Hi, all right. To maintain this, the 5-star we got, we have internal food training and food safety training, plus we have internal group chat regularly provided. One thing I know people don't understand is you have to take in consideration about your staff's mental awareness. They might have family problems at home, they might need time off. You can't just say your business comes first, you have to take in consideration about them. Fire is a big thing in the kitchen. It can cause fire any time, so staff have to be trained at all times to know how to prevent from that happening. Any new staff given, first thing you got to tell them where the fire exits are, from the back and the front. That's very important. People need to understand that things can happen. But again, if you follow the SFP book guidelines, you should be okay. Only trained staff can maintain proper food hygiene, and only trained staff will understand the importance of wearing protective, clean clothing and headgear. Following the guidelines of SFP will help you to do that. Internal and external trainings, we do audits and refresher trainings. We always stay on top of our game, make sure staff are happy, because without staff, you don't really have a business. So staff have to be trained on all aspects of the business.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
you.
I particularly like that you spoke about fire safety and mental health. Brilliant.
Mental health is
First
very
one to do
important.
that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Fantastic there. Okay, our third contestant to the stage is none other than Moonlight Tandoori Nadeem Ahmed. And Dad.
Thank you.
Thought I'd come in for the best dressed.
Yeah. Right, 1 minute, off you go.
Yeah, management training obviously is very important. So obviously I train my staff on food safety, and obviously I train about fire and safety. I train them how to use the fire extinguisher. We have a blanket if in case of fire, and obviously with the fire train them about how in case of fire how to leave the building and everything. And obviously health and safety training is very important. So I train them about fitness of work, and if if there's even illness, they must report to me, and obviously they should not come to work. And obviously safety awareness, allergy is very important. So we have all the list of ingredients which has got food allergy in it. So make sure if customer asks, they see the list on the thing and advise the customer accordingly. And also is staff training I covered. Customer, obviously, it's very important. They have to well behave with customer, well-mannered customer. Yeah.
Excellent, brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you. I particularly like that you teach your staff how to use the fire blanket and extinguisher.
Yeah.
Most people don't know how to use them, actually, so it's good. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so last but definitely by no means least, we have Ponchakana Mukaddam Ahmed Chowdhury to the stage.
Without staff training, we can't run our business, or we can't keep our standard as a 5-star. Personally, I am level 2 and level 3 holder. My all staffs, my chefs are level 3, few are level 2 certified, and every time I train my staff, like, the hazard, about the hazard. There is a few things in the hazard I can't explain within a 1 minute. Cross-contamination, fire risk assessment, everything. And I monitor every day, every time, every moment. And I teach them, and I follow them how to serve the customer, how to keep the maintain from the customer the distance, about the full allergen. My all staff knows the 14 allergens, what need to ask to the customer about the allergen notice. They have to be asked in my restaurant, have you any allergen or anything you want to know about the allergen. My staff have to be asked, the all customer. I have a menu. There is the allergen notice, all the recipes including in my menus, and this is very important to keep all standard for a training, and training is very essential for the Indian restaurant in our trade.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very concise pitch there. Fantastic. And the wild time, Azad Chowdhury.
This is going to be challenging to fit all in 1 minute, but I'm going to try my absolute best. Am I ready to go?
Yes, off you go when you're ready.
I mean, training play a major part in our operations. Yeah. It is massive. I mean, without training and knowledge, I don't think anyone can confidently execute anything. Mm-hmm. So we invest a great deal of money in our operations to train, given the knowledge, given the confidence, in order to rectify if there's anything goes wrong. So it's a major player. You mentioned about the health and safety. It's so important. I mean, 20,000 people get massively hurt. Millions of people get minor hurts. It is so important. By only having that training, how to deal with it, awareness of it, it's all our SOP, how we do our standard operation procedures. This is how we rectify daily basis, spot checking, eradicate all these problems, anything that's structural, where there is a fire safety. This is what we review daily basis with our management. Having given those level 2 training, those guys knows where to look, how to deal with it. It is so vital. So I think investing in training is just a basic thing. And I mean, we should all do it in order to give that knowledge to our guests and confidence they deserve.
Excellent, brilliant. That was a very confident pitch there, so
Thank you
nothing
so
to worry about.
Appreciate
Brilliant. Thank you. So that's all of our contestants that have actually pitched for the second round. So our judges will soon be voting. But before they do vote, in fact, I'm just going to go to our panel judges as well and pick out who they thought shone in that particular round. You know, the question at hand was about training, so we wanted the contestants to focus and give examples of food safety, fire safety or allergen awareness. So Mr. Huck, was there any standout contestants for you in that round?
I'm not going to name it. Yeah, again, Birmingham doing very well, but quite a few of them. I mean, they covered quite a bit, which is good, but I was looking forward for some of the training they've carried out, hands-on, and then the staff benefited from that. Yeah. Would have been nice to share. Personal trainers, that kind of thing, should have been covered a bit more. Fire risk assessment wasn't covered too much, but overall they did a good job, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because like you said, it's a very intense subject to actually talk about. There's so much, areas to cover. Yeah. So 60 seconds is quite a short period of time. But Raza, all of your Birmingham crew are still here. So
they're all drummy boys here. They're doing quite well. Once again, absolutely fantastic. A lot of the things what people have said. But when I go out and do inspections, and I think they've covered a lot of the things here anyway, is things like we talked about food safety, and I can't say much more on that. Going back to a lot of the panel, as well as the person next to me, have mentioned things like fire safety and health and safety. Yeah. One of the pointers I will say is your tandoori oven.
Yeah.
And I think that goes nicely with your insurance. Yeah. We do see a lot of explosions.
We see a lot of fires.
We see a lot of fires. I've actually got involved with a major fire with a massive canopy. I can't give you the name at the moment. But when something like that starts, it's not only just the restaurant area, but it could affect the whole block. So the health and safety aspect does have a major element to this. But going back to the tandoori oven, everyone near enough has a tandoori oven. it's very, very essential that the health and safety are maintained, especially the pilot light. I mean, if we, again, right, I can't talk for other authorities, but if someone hasn't got a pilot light and they just flicker a littered paper, cause an explosion, that's one major problem. And the other one is actually physically putting your hand in to relight the oven. That is a no-no, and it's more likely we will serve notices against that. So these are the kind of things should be part of the training. But saying that, I think a lot of the people that have sort of spoken about that does cover all of these, as well as the fire safety. The classic is the entrance being blocked with stock and everything else. But again, I think once you point it out to the people, they tend to say, yep, you're right, we'll just clear it straight away. But yeah, other than that, I think the training was quite exceptional, actually, from external as well as the internal training. Yeah, very good.
Good, that's great advice. Thanks, Raza. And Mr. Farouk, is there any standouts for you out of that round?
All 5 of them, they agree that training is very important.
Yeah.
And some of them mentioned that they do not only give them the training, but also they supervise them. I think one of them was Mr. From Jahed Fine, I think, from Birmingham, Abdul Said, I think. He mentioned about the supervision.
Yeah.
So supervision is also very important. It's not only giving the training or having a certificate is not enough. Most important is how you supervise. You cannot tell, say, inexperienced person to lift something which he cannot lift up. So that is also something you have to train him and supervise. Slippery floor, for example, give them the training on how to work on the slippery floor, how to mop it straight away. That is also an element of training. So these are small things which matters most. And I think all of you know about it, and some of you mentioned about it. So thank you.
Yeah, brilliant. No, thanks, Mr. That's a good observation there. Now, judges, I'm going to ask you to cast your votes. And in the meantime, I'm actually going to head to Attic. You know, Attic, you have 2 of your 3 contestants unfortunately got eliminated in that previous round. So you have Ponchakana Mukaddim Chowdhury left as your mentee. How do you think he did?
Well, you know what he said. He making actual point. Yeah. So far, thank you. He done a wonderful job. One thing, I just trying to say about the training.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the training people doesn't include this electronic device and everything. Like example, if you have a blender machine and all sort of thing, you need to give in a training as well. As soon as you employ a new staff, you need to tell them straight away what sort of hazard and everything. Is that right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what do you mean that with like handheld blenders and things like that?
Yeah, like example, if you hire a new staff because he doesn't know your machine and everything, how does it work? You need to give him a training straight away.
Got it. Okay, excellent.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I would recommend as well. Training is really good, but can you keep a record of it? So get your staff to sign that they've been trained in this, that, and everything else. Because if you have a claim, exactly, yeah. And don't forget your accident book.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
Because nobody mentioned that, and that is actually part of, obviously, health and safety.
The accident book, okay.
Yeah.
And how often do you refer to the accident book?
No,
in
the
claims
accident
and
book
things?
is if anyone has an incident or an accident, it should be written in the book. Yeah, and also get witness statements. So if somebody slips...
Yeah.
Can I ask you something? Which one is first? Is it health first or the safety first?
Health. Oh, I would say safety, probably. So it's ensuring safety first, because you've got to make sure that your customers and your employees are safe.
I think the health is first. If you feel dizzy, you can't.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Actually, I'm not a health and safety expert, but your insurance, if it's insured properly, will cover you.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah. Well, some healthy debate there. I'm sure we can probably discuss that later. Yeah.
I'll talk about learning. Learning is very important.
Sure.
Learning is earning. Without learning,
Yeah.
you cannot maximize the profit and sorry, did it work? You cannot maximize your profit and revenue. If you would like to have a sustainable business, you make sure you spend enough time and revenue to improve your knowledge. Without learning, can't. The Prophet of Allah say, طلب العلم فريضة على كل مسلم. To seek knowledge is the first for Muslim men and women, right? The same thing applies to legislation in this country as well. So when you run business, make sure you spend enough time and money to get training. I'll give a burning example. About a year ago, one of the big restaurants in East London, they invested over £500,000 sterling to set up everything. None of them work in restaurant before. None of them has any ownership experience. I was telling all the time, listen, do not run this business without training. They not listen to me at all. And then they had 0-star rating. Then I had to intervene, and they had 5-star. Because they had no training, they messed up with kitchen.
Okay.
Somebody put something, water, when they're cooking something.
Right, fabulous.
Fabulous.
That's excellent.
It's
Thank
very
you so
important.
much. Okay, brilliant. Well, we're just going to head to a short break, but don't go anywhere because we'll be finding out who our 2 contestants are. They'll be sadly eliminated from the second round. So in the meantime, see you shortly. Good evening and welcome back to the Catering Circle Restaurant Talent Show. If you just joined us, where have you been? You've missed 2 nail-biting rounds of each of our contestants battling it out to win the Restaurant Talent Show star. Now, if you have missed the show but you want to rewatch it, you're welcome to at 2 a.m. There'll be a repeat of the show back on Channel S. You might need to set your alarms though because it is pretty early. Before you left us, we were talking to our judges and there was quite a healthy debate during the breaks to discuss, what actually comes first. Is it health, safety, or is it food safety, or is it even the word safety? Does that even come first? So I'm going to actually go back to our judges to pick up on that topic. So Jan, I think we should name the show the Jan Show because all questions are
Jan
fired at you.
obviously means heart,
There you
so
go.
I am the heart of your show.
I love it. Brilliant. But what in your experience do you think comes first? So,
We've had this debate, obviously.
Yeah.
I think safety. I think the safety of your employees and your customers is paramount. And then health would follow on. Obviously, you disagree. You're saying health first. But you have a duty to your clients that they walk into a safe environment. That you are, slips and trips. If it's raining, make sure that you've got a big mat. Make sure you've got the yellow slip signage. Yeah, exactly. You'd be amazed how many claims I get from people falling over. And it's silly little... Pardon?
Very common.
And it
needs to be eradicated by following those procedures,
and
etc.
And by keeping records, that eradicates that claim. So people who want to claim, don't listen to this because I've given you... but I've just saved all the restaurant owners. It's just procedure, writing it down. And if you don't know, ask. You've got all these people here. Ask your fellow restaurateurs and learn from your mistakes. I think that's a very important thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's basically the premise of the show, really, to learn from each and every one of you on the industry and just ensure things like this don't happen.
And that's why we got you two.
Yeah, excellent.
You're trying to say the safety first.
Yes, safety first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we'll save the debate for another episode, I think. But yeah, okay, excellent. Wasim, I'd love to go to you. So obviously you've heard this debate, you've heard the contestants talk about training as part of the previous round. Was there any standouts for you if you cast your mind back to those 5 contestants?
I just wanted to go back to this point about safety.
Yeah.
So the employer has to provide a safe place of work for his employees. The employees have a duty of care to work safely. And we all have a duty to provide food for consumption for the public safely. Those are the basics. Having said that, the contestants, for me, were all very good. They were very impressive, and I found them exhilarating to listen to. They have said the right things about training and making sure that their staff are working properly.
Yeah. Excellent, brilliant. That's good. Ash, I'm conscious we didn't speak to you because you've still got all of your mentees in the running. So clearly you're doing something right, mentoring them.
You have to give them credit. So I think every single one of them, they delivered a fantastic pitch. And most importantly, is those who are watching at home is also getting a lot of benefits for what they're showcasing. You know, there's a lot to learn from here, and especially from the judges and the panel. But one thing I would say, the regulation to run businesses now is extremely difficult because you have so many regulations, you know, and it's good for the public because it's safeguarding the public. The government has implemented that, which is extremely well. And most importantly, you know, they've covered everything. Gas safety is something that is another regulation that is legally required for every single business to provide that annually. And that's testing all the equipments and also PAT testing. It's not legal requirement for the PAT testing, but the gas safety is. So without that, no business can obtain 5 stars.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
That's great advice.
credit to every single one of them. Well done, you all.
Fantastic, thanks, Ash. And Arlene, I'm going to head to you. Like, what did you think of our 5? Obviously, 2 were eliminated in our first round. Do you think they've gotten better as the rounds have progressed?
Yes, they have, I think, because they have actually addressed the questions that were asked regarding training. But the 1 minute was indeed quite short for you to get all your points across. But what did come across was that you are, if not passionate about training, you realise the importance of training and that you do provide training and you ensure that it's implemented, which is even more important because so many times you come across people who, oh, I've had training, I've done this training, and I've done that training. You ask them to follow, and they can't answer. So it's just a piece of paper, or they've just heard something, it's gone in one ear and out of the other. It needs to be retained, it needs to be refreshed, yes, and it needs to be reinforced at all times so that it becomes a culture, a safety culture. It becomes part of the individual. It's not something extra or something that you have to think about. It just becomes part of that individual's normal behaviour.
Great.
That's
excellent. Thank you very much, Arlene. That's brilliant. And Russ, I'd like to go to you because obviously we've had 2 rounds already, and you know this is the final, you know, nail-biting round of who's going to be crowned the winner. What are you looking to see from our contestants?
I think a lot of people have spoken about a lot of theoretical. I think now is the time to show the practical aspect.
Yeah.
So see if it all sort of blends together with not only with the legislation, the code of practices. I think we talked about a lot of that anyway. But I think it'd be quite challenging now. Put your words in action, and I think it'd be really good from my perspective to see, you know, what the practical ways of actually complying, and you know how can they then comply with the food rating of obviously the 5 stars. So yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Okay, well, so as I mentioned, we've had 2 rounds, so now it's time to announce the winner of the previous round. So I've got the results here. Let's go to the screen. There we go. And it's another tie with Black Restaurant and the World Time coming joint first with 82 points. Sadly, we are going to have to say goodbye to Moonlight Tandoori and Ponchakana, both at the bottom 2 position there with 68 and 70 points. You've both been absolutely exceptional, though. You've made it through to 2 rounds of what is a very difficult subject with lots of things to talk about, so extremely proud of yourself. But thank you very much, and we'll head into the final round of the show. Right, so the final round of the show to be crowned the Restaurant Star Show of tonight's episode is all about cost management and revenue growth. So as previously, contestants will have 1 minute to discuss all things in that subject, but specifically the judges want to see them exploring cost-saving strategies, the use of the SFBB folder, achieving high hygiene ratings, and effective marketing and branding. So lots of things to talk about in 60 seconds, but I'm sure it can be done. So let's bring on our first contestant to the stage. So I'm going to mix things up now, and we've only got 3 left. So let's start off with Jahid, Fine Indian Dining, Abdul Saeed.
Cost saving. As a result of a 5-star rating, our website ordering platform has increased, getting more orders free of charge. So far, we've already seen a 20% uprise from before, as more orders are coming in directly to our platform, our own platform, than Just Eat or Uber Eats, which take a heavy commission, like 16% to 18%. As mentioned before, with the correct staff training, we have less waste and less complaints from our customers because of a high food standard. We are confident we won't get any enforcement actions, and staff are needed less refresher training. For cost saving, we have an inventory to know which items are needed more and which items are needed less, so we have less waste happening. Overall, the staff are all been there for a very long time. You got like someone been there for 15 years, 17, 18 years. They've been there so long, they know what's need to be ordered, how much room we got in our fridge, what can be kept, what can't be kept. So no point ordering 6 boxes of chips this week where you get 3, you get 3 more. No point having waste. Checking the dates on the item, expiry dates. Stuff like that helps you. Even in the front, you have stuff like hot towels, the drinks, alcohol, and everything like that. So you just got to stay on top of everything, find out what you need, what you don't need. From that way, you could save cost savings. Thank you very much.
Okay, brilliant. That's on time. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you. Our next contestant is the Wild Time Azad Chowdhury. So welcome back to the stage, Mr. Chowdhury.
Hi, thank you so much. Very interesting so far. Cost saving is a massive part of any business. How do we achieve that? Pretty simple. When you train your people, build confidence with your client with a 5-star rating. You don't really need to make any saving, because when you get retention of business 3-4 times, that not only just cover your cost, it makes you put in a bottom line profit. So I think it is important that we achieve those amazing stars overall. Once you have those recorded promoted stars and it shows that safeguarding everywhere, it literally builds confidence in the clients. So given that confidence, it's all about training, knowledge, understanding. You don't need to make saving. You need great training to your clients, to your staff, yourself, the knowledge. When you pass that on, it really it pays for itself. So it's important that we implement and literally focus training, developing our team accordingly where necessary in order to safeguard themselves and, of course, our amazing client. To build that competence, when you get that retention of sale, if somebody comes to your operation for once a week, and once they see this confidence, comes in twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, you can see the number of development in terms of revenue. So literally, you don't need to make saving. You need a safer place where you can operate and give that confidence to your client.
Brilliant. Yeah, I love the passion there.
Thank you
as
so
your
much.
final
Appreciate
pitch.
it.
Thank you very much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
You could take a seat. Brilliant. Right, and our last pitch of the evening comes from the Wild Time, Mr. Azad Chowdhury. Sorry, that was not the Azad Chowdhury. Black Restaurant, Mohammed Shuaib. Sorry.
Hi guys. Just want to talk about the cost saving and the revenue increases in regards to having a 5-star and the food safety and health in general. In terms of cost savings, myself personally, my restaurant, working in previous restaurants, I've minimalised my menu. So in terms of what you have, it's easy to organise. It's easier to control as such, rather than having a large menu. So that's helped. In terms of having a 5, a chap mentioned before, scores on the doors. So just displaying that sticker alone is quite huge. A lot of people look into it. A lot of people, social media food is fashion. Everybody takes pictures. Everybody's on the internet. Everyone's looking for scores. So like I mentioned before, it can work for you or against you. Previously, when I mentioned I seen the restaurant I purchased, it was a 1-star. It was huge. When I achieved the 5-star at that time, in the village I was in, there were 7 Indian restaurants within a 1-minute walk.
Wow.
I was the only one to have a 5-star. So it's huge and it spoke volumes. I think when I went up on Facebook, it had, within 20 minutes, I think 400 shares. So the power of social media and word of mouth obviously can help.
Excellent. Well, bang on time. Thanks, Mohammed Shoaib. That was
Thank you so
brilliant.
much. Thank
Excellent last pitch. Well, that is our final round. With 3 contestants there. That's gone rather quickly. I see the judges are frantically jotting down notes of who they like and perhaps they don't like. So whilst they do that and actually start with the voting, I'm actually going to head to our mentors actually. So let's see, who do we have left? So Ash and Atiq, do you both have, you know, each mentee left in the running? Actually, well, actually, Atiq, you don't, because Ponchakana actually left that previous round. So unfortunate. I mean, well, just give some words of wisdom. Why do you think that was? Is there something that you...
Basically, because he's done a wonderful job. But 60 seconds, he can't cover everything. Yeah.
And
But anyway, he done a wonderful job.
Yeah, I think all 3 of your mentees did excellent. Yeah, but Ash, got to hand it to you. There's clearly something you're doing that Atiq isn't. So what do you think that is?
Razamir has given it the finest spices down to the Birmingham curry house.
Yeah.
But it was great. It's great. I think all of them are winners. Fantastic, all of them. And most importantly, the passion that they've shown. They got lovely passion, every single one of them.
Yeah.
You know, really impressed with your passion, the love. So you really enjoy what you do. It's great to see.
Yeah, I absolutely echo that as well. And I particularly like the fact that the restaurants that we have, like 2 from Birmingham, 1 from Chelmsford, they're all different. Wild Thyme, Jarhead Fine Indian Dining and Black Restaurant, all, you know, 3 different cuisines, you know, up there, but still, you know, getting those really high points. So that's really fab to hear. Right, so Jan, I'm going to head to you. Gosh, yeah, that was the last and final round. So everything you've heard today, you know, penultimately it's like covered off in this round. How did you think our 3 contestants did?
I actually thought they did very, very well. And like you say, the passion.
Yeah.
Without passion, you haven't got a business. Yeah. And I tell you, it's lovely seeing the youngsters coming through. I don't mean to sound ageist, but I love the fact that we've got young... No, but the young, you know, running a restaurant is a career. Yeah? And you are the heart of the community, and to get the youngsters coming through, following in their father's footsteps, credit to you all. So, shabash.
Oh, excellent, yeah. I'm impressed with your use of Bangla, actually, Jan. It's fantastic.
It was a very short period of time to explain everything, but today, I mean, none of them talk about allergen, which is very, very important, and communication is the heart of the prevention. Somehow we need to mention, if you look at the criteria, nobody speak about allergen. Also, they did not speak about very clearly about stock rotation. I mean, FIFO base is Japanese word called cardboard word. You do not order too much. Also, always check and use FIFO bases to, and none of them talking about qualification. I mean, they should, if they run a food business, they should have level 2 allergen qualification as well. And if you have any award, they did not put enough practical experience. One gentleman, I think, black restaurant, he's quite smart guy, but he did not embed loads of things from construction to restaurant. I mean, he got enough knowledge about in health and safety in workplace, in construction side, but he did not embed anything to food businesses. I mean, you need to improve as well.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's a good point. Brilliant. Okay, judges, can I ask you to start your voting so we can wrap up and find out who the winner is? In the meantime, I'm actually going to call all 3 participants back onto the stage so we can have a quick fire round from the judges aimed at you whilst they cast their votes. So, if I invite all 3 back onto the stage, that'd be fab.
much.
Okay, so I'm going to start with Mr. Farouk. Farouk, is there a specific question you would like to ask any of the three contestants, perhaps, that you've heard today?
I think I can ask a question to Mohammad Shoaib. You spoke about the cost saving, and we all agree that business is meant for making money. So less waste and saving the most important thing. But as we anticipated that from round 3, we should be expecting something from your allergen information. You did not mention anything. Do you give training to your staff on allergen?
So in regard to that round, I didn't mention it. But in the previous rounds, I have mentioned allergens, as I spoke about the prawns that I implemented with the new starter. So the allergens for me, and in round 1 I also mentioned, when I was talking about the gentleman who was the third-party company we used to use, he used to help me quite often in regards to the new allergens. So as Mr. Raza mentioned before, from when I first started in restaurant up until now, there's 14. So, you know, being up to date with all of them, the basic ones like gluten-free, things like that, but you've got the newer ones. So obviously it's about training and learning, but not just with allergens, with everything, I suppose. When it comes to training, I said I have toolbox talks with my team, so I'll sit them down. You know, even if it's something to do with having something new on the menu, exactly what it is, what's in there. If a customer asks you, it's all about educating yourself and learning. In this trade, with anything, I suppose, you have to continue to strive to improve and not just talk about it. Or a lot of people say put it on pen and paper. I came today, look, I didn't have no pen and paper, I had no notes. I feel like to me it should be natural, and we should be implementing these things and storing it in our head and making sure it's getting done, instead of just thinking. There's a lot of restaurant bosses I know that just think, okay, because they employ staff, it should just get done. It's about monitoring, as a lot of you guys said, monitoring and making sure it happens.
Thank you.
Excellent, great answer. Brilliant. And Raza?
Yeah, I'm very impressed actually. I think the final round was excellent. I think there's a lot of practical aspects, what I sort of found really interesting. I think it's fair to say in that short amount of time, I think everyone agrees, you're not going to cover everything.
That's very tough. We all mentioned, we was all sitting there, what do we say in the 60 seconds? So I do apologise in the order, but for example, even with health and safety, and you know, you was on about the canopy cleaning, I could go on forever, you know, about certain things, but you know, trying to get the order. And when you called me up, because I thought it was in the order that the first round was, but we do apologise.
The main thing is you got the gist of what we're trying to say, and I think from a legal point of view, I think you covered everything as best as you can.
And sorry to interrupt, at the moment I'm level 2, and I was discussing with Reza about that I want to do level 3 and eventually level 4 in order to, you know, further progress in the field, not just think, okay, we got a level 2, just leave it there, collecting dust on a shelf. It's about liaising with whoever your EHO is. They're not against you. A lot of people, they walk in the restaurant and think, oh, run the other way, or we're panicking. It should never be like that. They're there to help you. They're there to protect the public. So work with them in order to, even if you get a 4, next time round, read what they've said, take it on board and improve.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yes.
So the quick question is, I think everyone sort of agrees that the gist is all there. Easy to get a 5-star, if I can say in a nice way, but it's quite difficult to maintain it.
Yes, 100%.
So how do you assure us how you'll maintain your level 5? And also, getting an award, how would that help you also maintaining that 5-star? And how does that help you with your business in the future?
With that question, though, I probably would like to ask, perhaps, you know, just to balance it out. So maybe direct it.
Yeah, I mean, getting a 5-star is a good thing. You're absolutely right. Maintaining that is another thing. For us, we simplify everything in order to carry this out so everyone can understand properly and easily. So we have a SOP that I mentioned at the beginning, because obviously it didn't have a go in depth. That SOP represents all areas of safeguarding our operation. Not that we are only one day 5-star. It is vital even more that we become 5-star daily basis. How do we do that? By implementing ways of working. I talked about the WOW factor, ways of working. So we have an opening checklist, closing checklist, and we analyze all this daily basis. My supervisor will come in first thing in the morning. He will do an opening checklist, make sure everything thoroughly checks, operate properly. You have the segregations, all the tools are operating properly, and those are carried out. These are our operation procedures. Ways of working. So once you've done that and you were maintaining this, it's become really easy. Like we mentioned earlier, it's not just achieving 5-star and getting excited about.
Okay.
It is about safeguarding all aspects of business by having implementation in the right place and training people.
Excellent, brilliant. Thank you so much. And Mr. Huck,
Yes.
what question would you like to ask?
Firstly, I want to know from you guys, obviously, staff training is so important. And if you have trained your staff, obviously, to get 5-star, you must have done a good job. Tell us in terms of what changes you found in your restaurant in terms of food wastage and that kind of stuff, and the cost saving behind that. Yeah, yeah.
So, training is all part about understanding how to minimize wastage, maximum on your profitability. So once you have that knowledge in terms of food wastage, we literally rotate, check. That's part of my SOP, standard operation procedure. Rotate all our staff, first in, first out. We check daily basis, all our records, and if there's any implementation required in order to save anything, more you save, bottom line profit looks good. We all know that. These are the common things. So how do we achieve that? Again, we go to basic training, knowledge, follow up, and then having one-to-one basis, refresh training. And providing those tools and everything that our client, our staff require, you get that return.
Excellent.
By itself.
Brilliant. What a great answer and great way to finish this round. So, all the votes are in, I'm hearing. So now it's time.
We've got special judges to do.
We still haven't voted? Oh, sorry. Oh, who are we missing? Oh, okay. Apologies. All right. Well, in the meantime, then I'll head to our mentors, actually. Okay. So, like I mentioned previously, Ash, you have basically all three of your mentees up there. Okay, it's that is not on the list, but it's anywho, and you didn't spot that either, so I don't know how much mentee. Okay. Anyway, what do you think of the three contestants?
Be honest with you, they done a wonderful job. I said to you, 60 seconds. You can't explain everything, but. Black Western, the gentleman done a wonderful job. I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, excellent. And Ash, do you think there's a surefire winner here tonight, or is it?
As I said earlier, I think all three of them are winners. So
diplomatic answer.
Yeah,
very political as well. Okay, brilliant. Wasim, is there any question you would like to ask three of our contestants? Anything that stood out for you over the show?
No, I was just going to say that there was very little comment about increasing revenue through branding and marketing, which was one of the topics on this particular subject.
That's a good point. Yeah, no one mentioned that actually.
And furthermore, I understand you're under pressure because you've got a minute to actually express your point. But all of you have done very well, and you should be very proud of what you are doing, and you should carry on.
Thank you very much, Wasim. That's a great way. Have all of our judges voted? Are we still waiting? Okay. All right. No problem. We'll just pass that along. But Arlene, what did you think of our contestants in that final round? It was quite a tough round, wasn't it? A lot to cover in just 60 seconds.
But I was quite impressed because even though, as my colleague said, they didn't mention stock rotation and so on, they didn't mention the term, but they all mentioned that they did look at the stock, at what they had, and to check to see what was needed and not to have excess stock and tying up all your finances and so on. And also the fact that you achieved 5 stars motivated you and also motivated customers to say, oh, they've done well, they've got 5 stars, I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
So I think they have done things to increase their revenue and save money, and
Brilliant.
by less waste, and by their practice.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Jan. So all the votes are in, I hear. So now we can actually go to the final results and know who's been crowned the Restaurant Talent Show winner for this evening. So results on the screen now, and we have a unanimous winner by far, which is Black Restaurant, Mr. Mohammed Shuaib. Well done. Congratulations, you did absolutely fantastic. Oh, brilliant. But I've got to say, Abdul Saeed and Mohammed Shuaib, you did exceptional to get this far. But, yeah, you guys aren't finished yet. Please stay where you are. Please stay where you are. Okay. Okay.
It's not finished yet. It's live program, guys.
We're not. Let's go back to the. We can have chinwags later afterwards, please. We're still live on stage. Yeah, we're still live. So if you would like to go back, we haven't finished quite yet. Yeah. Okay. No problem. You just got carried away there, but yeah. Okay, excellent. So, would you like to say a few words, Shuaib?
They was all just as good, if not better than me. But I drove down the M6 to win. I mentioned that before.
Okay.
I'm very tired. I was up late last night trying to get myself together for this. But once again, thank you, and thank you all for your time.
Fantastic. So well done, Shuaib. Well deserved by far. Excellent. Thank you very much for joining us at home. If you've liked the show, then please join us on our next episode. It's a very interesting subject. We'll be joining and listening to people that have been self-made millionaires is the topic. So thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tanya Rahman, and I've been your host of the Catering Circle Restaurant Talent Show. Thank you very much. Bye.